Thank you, Father, for another difficult day, but bringing it to a head here. Got a beautiful sunset out here in the high desert. Got the water tank topped off, and I'm going to try to get more rest of these other ones I have topped off. So thank you, Father. Some people don't have anything to drink, so thank you for abundance. And what a blessing it is to have a roof over my head and all this land and animals and food and all the things that some people struggle to have and don't have. So thank you for all things. I'm going to continue with this conversation about and I'm not going to focus on anything else until for the next 3 months other than this 923 project blue book and all this we're doing today. Clown, fallen angel technology. When did you ever first hear that? When did you hear fallen angel technology? Where'd you hear that? I'm gonna bring that up because I know better than that, but I'm just curious on how. I was talking to Kevin today about that, where this term comes from. And that it's it has been held back, not fallen. I mean, that's, but when's the first time you heard that? And why do we all know that? You talk to a lot of people and they say that, but they don't know what an angel is. But, it's just this, it's like be like a chant or something they did it flicker rate. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I know that, there is no such thing. And that's what they say that, Adolf, had that tech or had been given this, and that's what he was, and this whole deception is that, okay, so we haven't heard it. Cool. So, yeah, okay, we'll see. I'll keep asking that. And I know a lot of people, this pumped into their brain, and I know this is how they're going to pull this off, being able to have people, yeah, see, there we go. That's what I'm saying. So so you've heard this and where he got it from. Okay, so you've heard this. And it's stuff it's just tech that's Tesla was messing with. It's tech that's been here for millions of years, just being held back, restrained from us. So, so we try to get out of here. So, but nobody's getting out of here. Remember, water's above, water's below. And that's the whole trickery of this Project Blue Book that's been going on since, they brought all the top scientists and physicists and chemists and doctors and all that from World War II over here. Even the top NASA scientist was a spasti, scientist. So, but there's no such thing, right? Thank you also for your comment. See what I'm saying? You also, when's the first time you heard that? What's the first time you heard, what I'm saying, that term, fallen angel technology? So you associate that with World War II. But when's the first time? We know there's no such thing, but, it's... No, I know, but not that, but this fallen angel, I'm saying this. When is the first time you ever heard that? Put that in the chat. Every time you heard fallen angel, because fallen angels don't come from the sky. It's not what fallen means. So angels, the definition of an angel is the word messenger. So messengers don't come from the sky. Fallen messengers don't stick their, magic school buses in women and stuff either. That's another fallacy. Get it? Haha, magic school bus. All right. So we're not, remember, we're okay, cool. Because I know it's something I've studied for so long, and how I've just always. So, but I know it's prevalent within people. People understand that if they know anything about World War II, there's this supposed, that Mr. Had seventh king that's locked up in the pit that's being revealed right now as the AI Antichrist spirit. And there's no such thing as AI ever. It's just a computer. Computers don't learn, but they got everybody commits to that, and then they're gonna. Cool. That's what I'm asking, Sabrina. I'm asking, when's the first time you heard that in your life? How can we all know this? Or what is it, just because we know our history? Because like we all went to the moon, right? Well, not all of us. We went to the moon, right? That's what, so I'm just trying to bring up this thing, how easy this is going to be, guys, in the next 3 months. So I'm going to be hyper-focused on nothing else. If we don't get it right, that's fine. We'll move on. Next, 2026. Ugh. I don't even like the sound of 2026. 2026, that doesn't even sound right to me, guys. And I already know because I don't do this lunar calendar, but I don't know about you, but 2026 just doesn't sound like I don't even like that year already. I don't know about you. I'm not trying to have a preconceived notion about, be pessimist, but this one's already terrible, so, and great all at the same time if you're awake and not like woke, but, not have your head up your fourth point of contact, and you're being prepared, and you should have abundance. You should already be doing okay, in a sense. And I don't mean like spiritually more than anything, that you got to be right, and knowing that Father created all things, there's none of this that's happening by chance or luck or free will, and that's not how it's written. So I'm struggling with my chest today, just hard to even get out any words, but I'll try to keep going. But like I said, I want to bring it up because I don't do the fallen nonsense. The fallen people that start thinking about sky, then they think aliens, and then see there you go, fallen angel, alien, sky. It's that easy to trick people. So here's what I'm also thinking. Again, we'll just game theory. This is what this is called. Yeah, people are afraid to change, Sabrina, because they get hit in the clock. They punch the clock, and they get used to. Even, I'm not saying like children do really well in a structured, in a schedule. Punch the clock, go to work, be a debt slave. No, not children, but what I'm saying. It's so easy. A caveman can do it. So, anyways, I know that we, I know that we all have this in our heads, and I'm not really, and I know because it stems a lot from World War II. You said it correctly. You know what I'm saying? Sabrina, it comes from that war. It's from, Mr. Swasti, supposedly got this fallen technology, and he didn't, because that's technology that's been around and nobody gave it to him. This is all Trump with this, World War II, Apollyon, sun god, page face, orange, Chiefs buff, all his little taco bender. Those who say peace and safety, war. That's what we got now, the Department of War, right? So I'm not sure if you pay any attention to like what's going on the on our debt and all that. They really are doing things that, it's really disgusting. Trump, he put out that meme going, Trump coin. I mean, ugh. But whatever. It shows how, and people made money, and I'm not saying it, it's getting pretty. Remember, tell us this every day, it'll help you. I'm serious, and I'm not trying to just take it to the word. Everybody in the world is evil. Okay, not everybody, but most people. That's what the book says. If you start walking around, looking around, I was doing it to Kevin today, because everybody there is having a normal conversation. Yeah, they're acting like everything's okay. People are being locked up for being too poor, having a disability. They're just, this is getting pretty, tabernacles, right? Intense. So I know what they're going to do. They put these, if anybody look at the Deagle maps, you're going to have to consider that, 200 million plus Americans, that's what, like 211 or something like that. There's going to be 99 million Americans left at the end of 2025. That means 200 plus Americans got to go bye-bye. No birthday next year. Take a dirt nap, whatever you want to call it. Maybe they get raptured. I told you guys better watch out. A lot of these people are going to get raptured. Oh, you're going to go rapture. That's a great way to get rid of a bunch of people, man. If I was evil, I'd rapture everybody because there's no such thing as rapture. Anybody who believed in it, their placebo effect, they just wrap their feet like the snare. He's the snare that lifts us out of here. So they came in through their head, they'll leave by their feet. So, yes. Yeah, they've been starting this. Rusty, it's been illegal to be homeless in 48 states for a long time. Now, Trump just made it by executive order legal to be poor or homeless or have a disability by executive order. So they've been working on this for a long time. It's not new news. I was trying to tell everybody, Oregon and Washington, I believe, are the only two states that were allowed to you could legally and have protection. Like Oregon's the first sanctuary state. There was a reason why I don't like this state for a lot of reasons. Some of the stupid, liberal politics, don't do nothing about. This is a sanctuary state, the original. Trump's going to have a hard time here in this state. And it's not that because Father protects this state. It's the only state that equals 33. Geometrically, it's the oldest place in the Northern Hemisphere. The oldest clothing was found right where I live, right up in Cow Cave. So this is a very, they're going to have, Trump's going to have a difficult time with Oregon. I can tell you that. And it's for a lot of the reasons too, because of a lot of this stuff but I mean, they're going to steamroll everything here in a moment. But as they put up this little front, you'll see what I'm talking about. And that's good. That's Father, I'm not for people, taking advantage of the system and doing things like that. But when people are down, we need to help people. And, and I was raised very right, conservative, all of that nonsense. But I did see my dad be charitable. He was raised me not to give any of my money away. You made it, you saved it. You don't have to give your money away. Don't let anybody take your money from you. If you earned it, that's yours, but he also would be charitable, I mean, he'd chase somebody down the street if he knew they're, I don't know, my daddy had a kind of a thing about buying or giving people money, and he thought they were going to buy drugs or something with it. And I guess that's a good reason back then where we lived and whatnot. But he would go buy him food or nothing, if they'd ask for money, he'd say, well, I'll go buy you some food, and if they'd say no or something, like, then get out, he knows they're just trying to cop a bottle of beer. And now I'm like, well, let them have a bottle of beer at the end of the night, living on the streets. That sucks. But I'm not into that. I just, so it goes both ways though, so I was raised very conservative, right? But also saw my father be very charitable and pick people up hitchhiking and do, just things that don't cost money, or if they do, it's not like it's just the right thing to do. You got to help people who need help. That's Christ-like. So not put them in cages and the country if they resist and if they have a disability. This is getting World War II. It is. This is what we're doing. Remember, this is what this channel is about right now. We're not doing anything for the next 3 months, but the Blue Book, World War II equals World War III, 923. All this is happening exactly as it did in World War II. So Kevin's hitting on a little something here, and I think he understands already. I already told him you got to look for the same uniform, like a hand in a glove. They're going to repeat the same cycle. Whatever we saw happen in World War II, they're going to do it again, and they already are. And so, I think our Pearl Harbor was shooting that boat, full of migrants, or as far as I'm concerned, you don't put 11 people in a boat. You trade out 4 or 5 or 6 of those guys for drugs. That's like $150 million dollars worth of drugs or whatever, just average across the board on any one of them. You wouldn't put 11 dudes in a boat and then, blow up a boat in the middle of international waters as single police. You can't. International, this is going right by the script. And was that a video game? Was it AI? They haven't shown us anything. Like all this, we never get to see any of the evidence, Yes. Yeah, well, that's been absolutely. That's been going on for some time, Rusty, over there. Honestly, I would not want to live in the UK, anywhere in Europe, France, any of those nations. You guys, have you seen the Deagle maps? Have you seen the Deagle maps? Or not maps, the forecast. This is what this channel's doing to the end of the end of this year. Not doing nothing but this. I'm telling you, this is how they're going to get rid of all. They're going to make all these Deagle maps come to pass. So, and something I've noticed, and it's kind of weird, but it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. You don't know what that is. Okay, those would come out in 2017, where it shows most of the European or Western nations. And you can say this, and I don't do that because I don't do races in here. One race, the human race. And so these maps were put out in 2017, and they show a forecast of most of these white or European nations decrease massively in population. I think the United States is third, and they go from 316 million, I believe, at the time, what they were forecast, down to 99 million. So in the next 3 months, 200 million Americans are probably going to be unalived. Maybe they'll get raptured. It'll be awesome. It'll be God, and it'll be so hallelujah. Bullshit. Garbage. But people will fall for that. They're going to do this. They're banking on people's, they're banksters, so they're banking on people's ignorance. They don't know what, they just don't know what, like people think alien is a person or a species or a being or a physical. Alien is a word. There's no such thing as alien. So we're talking about fallen angel technology, and then people think that's alien. They're that stupid, and they can just get, caught up in this whole, they think they're spinning on a planet. Can't help people. They just watch too much broadcasting. The enemy's been sowing seeds while they've been sleeping. That's where the word broadcast. So Operation Mockingbird, they can control the media. They've done this the first time somebody ever saw some spinning ball was on television. So yes. Also, but listen, there's no such thing as aliens. It's all government technology that's been held back through John J. Trump, and who stole that. John G. I said John J. John G. Trump. That John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. But well, so I'm struggling. My chest has been hurting me a lot here today. I don't know Yes, it was I say it's my chest. So I'll get over it. I'm just I feel a little short of breath. Like I said, this some days are better than others. But anyways, this is something that's been planned. Like I said, they brought all these top scientists over. That's Operation Paperclip. And that's a very important, you need to understand that after World War II, they brought all the top scientists, physicists, chemists, all the, top doctors, all brought them here to the Americas to create this whole final, 80-year cycle of the debt cycle. And they're already doing this. They're already changing. If you were paying attention economically, what was going on right now, you can't even fathom what they're doing. They're about ready to throw all this debt out into the, out back into just recycle it. These people are like sickening how they can ZERP, zero interest rates. Who would have ever thought that? And then NERP, negative interest rate program. Some of this stuff is even, and then they do all this blockchain and tokenize and that they just, but that's where they're headed, whether you like it or not. Like I said, where this whole world is headed, I believe before the end of 2025. I don't care if I get it wrong or not. I remember I told how many people to come out here that were living in, North Carolina up the East Coast. I knew there was something coming on this water event. And I was showing these other possibilities with the alignment and of the 79 AD with the pinching of the four large gas giants, and didn't get that all perfect, but there was, a massive event that, again, there was probably, I don't know how many people I told. Well, how about all of them that I told? And none of them came out here. And I'm sure there's somebody that heard me that's laying in the ground right now. And that's not up to me, because our day of death is written. But, this is already we're so far down this rabbit hole right now with this, 923 ritual. And that's their equinox ritual of their sun god, Apollyon, the one who's birthed on, 1225, Satan, Jesus Christ. And people are idiots. They worship Satan, and they don't even know what they're doing. Not even supposed to worship anything. Even if you figured that out, maybe you could figure out who Satan was. Only 2 birth dates in all the scripture. One was Satan, one was Herod. He was trying to kill Christ, right? Have the firstborn, because he knew the Magi. He knew some people like myself who understood the celestial abyss at the time, and that was declaring the coming of the king. It was the Magi that they knew that king's star was going to birth the celestial age and then birth the Hamashiach, in flesh. It was written in the stars. All these things are written in the stars. Everything that's here, they're doing down here on the ground. So, but most people don't understand the celestial gospel. They think there's gods in the sky and aliens a word, so just associating the fallen cool. Yeah. There's a deception. You're not going to escape what they're going to do. I do see, again, everything being, it's about control. It's about taking control because, I know they know on the surface that people won't make it. I've tried to explain that to people before I don't know, I put that out probably 500 times. I don't know how many times I've said it on the internet, but a lot. That you're not going to make it if you're up above on the surface. I'm not saying you got to go dig down, deep down in the ground, because there's already massive chasms, tunnels. There's so much underneath people's feet. They got people thinking there's some molten spinning core like they're spinning on a ball. They're idiots. They don't know anything, and that's fine. I'm not trying to change anybody right now. I don't want to talk to anybody who's not talking about this Operation Blue Book period, where they bring in their megalithic sex dolls and tell everybody there's aliens and stuff. It's going to be, I had some pretty big revelations today with just the way that it is, the way it works. The revelation is to peel off the cover, to lift off the veil, to pull the lies off and reveal the truth. So I think there's probably millions, not talking about a substantial, but enough to make a dent that you might reconsider that. You don't think there's any sex dolls walking around, living around, man or woman, or you don't think that's possible? I told you, those little premature little baby things that are like scary looking. You don't think those things can be made into a moving object that can walk around and have a job amongst you and not, and they're already here, like a cyborg. If you peeled off part of its face or something, I'd be back. You got to open your mind a little bit. You got to open your mind. I think they're already here. I know this government. I work for the government. I'm supposed, sign disclosures, top security, above top secret security clearance, all that. I ain't hiding nothing. I rebuke everything I did. So now I work for God only, period. That's it. I let Father fight all my battles. So goyim, yeah. That's what we are, a bunch of goyim, worthless food eaters, bringing all their oxygen. So I think they're here. I think there are millions of them already. You just don't realize it. They're just people amongst you. And well, it's a word. So is Father. Carl, think about this for 1 second, Carl. Father is the word Hokadesh. Hokadesh, that's called spirit or ghost, right? That's Father. Father doesn't exist in flesh. Father is the Word, correct? Father is the Word. Christ is the Word in flesh. So if you're calling Father, which is the Word, and alien is a word, that makes you're calling Father an alien. I don't think he'd be very happy about that. You didn't take time to sit down with just one word and define at least one word to figure out what an alien was. He's a word, right? You're telling me Father's an alien? Oh, I don't think he's be very nice when he comes back and deals with you. You're done. You're fried. So you have a relationship with the Word. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you guys, it's about to get loud, man. Oh, okay. Not going. Oh, okay, my bad. Is that what they're called? L. Ron Hubbard. You guys are the best, man. We got the best ministry on this. This is the best channel. Not like that greater than. I just like that what we do in here, guys. Appreciate all you guys come back. Let's stay focused. I'm saying, guys, I want you to listen. If everybody thinks that hit her, I say hit her. I'm trying not to hit the algorithm. Is basically what I'm trying to. Adolf, that he got fallen angel technology, right? He got fallen angel technology, right? Well, that's what they said, so that's what they're going to do again. Megalithic sex dolls, baby. I'll be back. But look at, here's the other thing. What I realized is that they're going to peel the cover off of these things. They're already living with us. They're already amongst us here in society. Oh, you're crazy. Okay, whatever you think. Just going to peel the skins off. That's what apocalypse means, man. To rip the skins off these robots. R2-D2. I'll be back. Wally, right? Johnny 5 alive. I am sporting the very tremendous Woody. There we go. They put it in the movies, man. Charlie Kirked himself. Charlie Kirked himself. He's leaning a little too far to the right because he knew a little too much and ended up turning into an ass, didn't he? To the left. Yeah. So Charlie Kirked himself. We're going to support people who support PDF files. So the president's a PDF file selected by the Fortune 500 companies. So Tyler Hansen thinks he's Elvis Presley. Thinks his wife is the queen and that their son is a product of those two, which is rather just an interesting, as he winks and says, just for theory. So I'm not sure if you, yeah. So look, guys, here's how they're going to do this. This is so easy to pull off. If everybody thinks God's in the sky, there's nothing in the sky. All they've been dragging up a bunch of crap up there so they can drop a bunch of payloads on you and think that they're aliens. And it's just their tech. You notice all these rockets are phallic. I mean, it's like somebody's been screwing around corners, right? And they don't go straight up. They go like that. People are lost. You know what I'm saying? No, there's no way such thing as aliens. See, somebody just like aliens. Listen, worldwide, alien is a word. 2 words is aliens. Hey, Carl, did you hear that? That's brilliant. I just figured that out. That's not even rocket science, right? But Carl, did you hear that? 1 word is alien, 2 words is aliens. That's awesome, dude. Oh, I love that. I have to remember that. Man, I'm addicted to this Berkey water. Mm. So, that's kind of funny because I'm saying aliens word. Well, aliens is 2 words. Not Casper the friendly ghost. That's more than 2 words. Oh, so. All right. Remember, the word is Hokadesh. That means ghost, and there's no such thing as ghost. No such thing as aliens. No such thing as free will. No such thing as saved or being saved. You have to die to be saved, idiots. But yeah, God's not in the sky. Stop it. Go somewhere else. There's no such thing as a planet. There's no planets. Get away from me, ball god. There's one time in ball god band camp or ball camp. So yeah, but there's nothing but an algorithm. That's all an algorithm. It's all written. Yeah, it's an algorithm. That's all that is, Rusty. Yeah, no, that's not. We're not going to do this very much. I'm not like this, but that's. Oh, that's Paul. Oh, hold on one sec, guys. I take this call. It's the neighbor. Hold on. You.
We're
Oh, maybe I missed it. All right. The phone didn't answer. So I've sat there. I love this thing. I watch these people do these things with this. You got to understand, AI is just an algorithm. AI is an algorithm. That's all AI is. AI is a math problem. AI is taking everybody's metadata and creating an answer. That's all. There's no computers don't learn. They've got people thinking, oh, we're going to add a little bit of human matter, biomatter. Now it's a brain. But there's no such thing as AI, Rusty, so you know. I appreciate you saying all this stuff, but there's no AI. It's still 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. It's nothing more than that. And there's actually no such thing as zero in history. Historically, there's only 1 through 9. So, you know, I appreciate you obviously been studying, but this advanced, all this stuff, they've got people just mesmerized in this. It's the same thing. It's just a fucking math problem. It's not anything else. If you fall for that, you're going to have a hard time in the future, man. This stuff's going to pick up on your scrolls. The sky's going to roll back like a scroll. You got to be ready for this. You got to have the whole armor on. You have to put all your faith in Father, and you will not. Yeah. So it's a concept. That's what I'm saying. So don't fall for none of this stuff. There's no AI. There's no such thing as AI. You're an Antichrist idiot. That's what you are. Right? And that's what I call AI, Antichrist idiots. People fall for the computer can learn or it's alive. Get the fuck out of here. That's about as not. Oh, we added some biological. Now it's alive. Now it's shut up. This technology that you think they're discovering now is a pin drop into what they have. You guys just, I'm not you, just don't take this personally, Rusty. You just fall for this stuff, like just whatever. They drip this stuff out. Sometimes they just turn the IV drip up a little higher for you, so you feel a little. I actually feel a little high here or something. they got stuff that's so far beyond what they have. This is just a tip of what's about to come, and it's not. It's just nothing. It's just tech that's been here forever, so it ain't gonna last long. I guarantee you. Father's not going to allow this. I'm not saying this is the end of the world. I ain't picking the end of the world, but this won't last. None of this will work without our sun. And if the sun gets blotted out, there ain't no second sun, fake sun, all that. No, it's not that they added anything Bible. Just they made components which mimic certain human functions. Okay, that's all. That's what I'm saying. But it's still not, it's still just 0, 1 to me, Rusty. So you know that. It's never going to be human functions. That's still, that's not alive. And they've got to, unless, Rusty, you're on it. Don't stop studying what you're studying. You got to look at both sides. I'm not telling you to look away from that, but I don't think you'll fall for it. I don't think you'll fall for it. The computer's never going to be alive. There's nothing that's ever going to be alive or ever going to learn. Never is a computer going to learn. It's all called metadata. Why do you think they want your metadata more? Your metadata is more worth than anything. That's why your phone takes every 3 seconds takes a, even in a dark room takes a infrared picture of your face. Your phone is controlling everything and watching everything you do, reporting everything back, everything you do. They put bots in here just to. This is like I said. So you're fine. You're fine. People are going to fall. It's so much easier. That's why they just want to get rid of a bunch of people because people are stupid. I'm not going to lie to you. People are just ignorant is one thing, but stupid's different. Ignorance means you don't know. But these people have had plenty of chance. You obviously have studied. And like I said, they don't take any time they haven't mastered even their time yet. Thanks for the donation to the ministry. Much Agape. You got to be, you know what I'm saying? You got to be a master of your time, place, plane, all this, to get. And I'm not saying it's a work. It doesn't happen overnight. But come on, man. Computers don't learn. I'm a prior reconstructionist, prior investigator, prior law enforcement. I have a pretty good background, military, police, in the army of math, and had a lot of time. Been out of the military for a long time too, so I've had a lot of time to go, hey, wait a minute, I don't want money. I mean, tail's nice. I'll chase that, but I can get that whenever I want, you know. Money's nice, but you know what? I'd rather take all that and trade it for time, right? Capture time, and then I can trade that for knowledge. So, oh, here, hey, I got a restricted call. I haven't got a call forever. Might be the police. Yeah, we got a reverb. Somebody's calling from a restricted number. That's normally the police. I could hear it in the background. They're recording this call. Fuck you, cop suckers, tyrant pigs. Return this constitutional republic, gold and silver, or you're just a bunch of commerce cops. How you like that? Operating in commerce. All crimes in America are crimes of commerce. Remember, criminal, a term of accounting? You ever done a budget? Huh. They used to harass me and call me 70 times a day after they the cops ran over my property out here, so fuck the police. Never heard a song called Fuck the Firefighter, have you? Because all an officer worries about all day is his safety. A veteran will lose his life. A firefighter will lose his or her life, right? All an officer thinks about all day is their safety. So that's not a servant. That's a tyrant. That's a road raider. That's a freaking extortionist. So anyways, somebody called me from it. Okay, maybe it's the feds. Maybe the feds have enough fucking balls to finally call me, tell me where my son's at. Apologize, guys. I know it's them. So they're going to try to fuck with me. I talked to my attorney today. So they know they're screwed. I got a court date coming up. So anyways, moving on. I'll just continue on with what we're talking about. So get ready. They know I got their attention, guys. 923. They're going to take a bunch of people out with aliens that are fake. I know I got their attention. I have this government's attention for fucking a long time. Fuck the government. I work for the damn government. Government fucks up everything they put their hands on. So if you support the government, remember Father said, do not sup with vipers. Remember he said, you knew I was a snake before you let me in, and then they let Joe Biden. Okay. There can't be one good cop in America until the constitutional republic is returned. The corporation that it is now, and all the money is in gold and silver, period. Otherwise, I don't care. Ulan lobby. You already came and took every right from me but my first. So I'm going to use that right until I can't. Thank you, Father. But anyways, I know who it is. I know when they call, I always feel their energy. So there's certain times. I never, like I said, there are very few people who call me, but normally if it's them, I heard it in the background. I heard their fucking, whatever. Fuck the police. All tyrants are pigs. Until you return this to a constitutional republic, I don't care. So let's bring this up. I'm hyper-focused. I'm not going to do anything. Another call again. I'm not going to even answer this time. Fuck you, pigs. So I'm just going to deny their calls, so I won't answer it this time. Put something in my chat. Type something in my chat, you stupid pigs, or go away from me. Stop bothering me. I have a ministry to run here. So unless you want to tell me where my son's at, settle the case today. Contact John Kleagle, 484-1066 in Eugene, Oregon, or stop calling me tyrant pigs. I don't care if you're the Fed. You already had, 5 years to call me about these tyrant pigs out here? Leave me alone. Stop fucking with me. So, anyways, I'm not going to be wrong about this, brothers and sisters. I want you to focus on these Deagle maps. These have been out since 2017. And it makes 200 plus million Americans be unalived. You don't have to take this serious with me at all. I don't care. Like I said, I told people to come over during, the was it 10/24/24? Then we had the Hurricane Helene. I didn't get the complete pinching right, but how many people lost their lives? So I don't pick people's death. Our day of death's already written, so I'm not worried. Whatever they come trying to do to me, I ain't tripping. So they're probably freaking out a couple days for my court date, and they ain't done shit. So my attorney called me today, so I have to come up with more money, but I'll figure that out. I don't want to talk about the money. It is what it is. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll figure it out. Father will provide. So, trial. So, talked to the attorney today, and he feels like we're going to beat the pants off this case. And he's hyper focused on it, and I haven't heard from him in a while. And I told him, I'm not worried about it. You call me if you need anything. So, he is one of the better attorneys, a really expensive attorney, and ended up costing me a lot more money. But, I'm going to sue these people after this. I talked to him about that today again, and he's a criminal attorney. He's not a civil lawsuit attorney. So it's time for me to get a civil lawsuit attorney and sue the state before they come kill me. So I didn't mean to take it there, but I have to do this, guys. They're attacking my son. I can't even report my son or daughter dead. This is insane. These are the people who shot me or grenaded me and shot my son and grenaded my daughter. That's insane. How can you not report your son and daughter missing? Never heard anybody can't report somebody missing? So, yeah, that's my hours, $500 an hour, Carl. And I've already given them, tens of thousands of dollars. It cost me like 37 just for Elijah's case, and I'm going to trial. So I have a lot more money got to come with, and I've already got rid of all my, my precious metals. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll figure it out. I'm screwed. Either way, I'll figure it out. Father's going to provide. I have land up for sale. I really wish it would have sold. That it wouldn't be. It's on Father. I have 45 things for sale on the internet. So we'll see what happens. It is what it is. So I'll figure it out. I know it's them. So fuck them. What are they going to do? Come try to fuck with me. They can, whatever. I saw a bunch of them in town tonight. So one went up into town. Bunch of fucking plain clothes and shit too. So they're in town. The feds are in town tonight. I've seen them. So maybe they'll come out and try to talk to me. I don't know why they come not try to talk to me during the day. They might come try to do another SWAT raid or do some stupid shit like they did last time. But whatever. I ain't tripping. My day of death's already written. They already tried to kill me once. So I don't think that's going to, go ahead, give me a vacation. I'm eternal. I'm not worried about dying. Dying's a doorway. It's something you're supposed to do to flesh daily, not literal flesh, but spiritual though. Not tripping. Don't mean to go there, but I know who it is. Like I said, whatever. I have a pretty good intuition because I've been doing this for, I know this case better than anybody. So the attorney said we're going to take it to court and he's going to beat it. And so I don't care what happens. At least I can figure something out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to stay focused. I know they're pissed about what I'm talking about right now. They don't want you to look at this, that they're about ready to, do you guys had fucking 20 plus 5, almost 25 million or 25 states that are, have military in this. Oh, there's nothing happening in America. There's nothing coming. No, just keep acting like just keep going to fucking work. Remember I told you that's how they do this. When the end of the world as you know it, not the end of the world would happen, and they knew if there was like a pretty large event coming, they wouldn't tell anybody. Hell no, they would incite violence, panic. People would quit their jobs. People would come unglued real quick. So you should look around that they're very heavily preparing for something right now. They called it the Department of War now, not Department of Defense, but the Department of War. So just keep going to your job and being an idiot. Keep paying to kill people in other countries as you're an accomplice to this stuff, so I don't know. I'm an extremist. No, I'm not. I have a First Amendment right, bullshit, because I point out the truth. You know what's the first casualty of war? The truth. War doesn't decide who's right. It decides who's left. So this trial ain't going to be what I even thought. And it don't matter. Father's got this. I'm not going to even fight any of this like that. Like I said, to pay the attorney, got a lot of money paid out. So all I can do is just hope something sells. I'm going to take the flatbed up and hopefully tomorrow I'll try to get it as cleaned up the best as I can. And, we'll get it sold. It's fine. All this will get taken care of. Father wrote all things. He's the creator. Nothing's going to happen. There's no free will. There's no luck. It's not how it works. So, I tell myself every time before they throw me in front of their, to Luke 12:11, they'll throw you right in front of their magistrates and their synagogues and their men in their black robes, and you be without counsel. Do not worry what you shall say. I will tell you the answer. So he always, I'm always this close to being, death or thrown in jail again or whatever, but it's okay. It's what you have to do. Christ stood up to the law. If you don't know Christ, Christ was one that, he wasn't loved by the world. They hated Christ and they threw him in jail for standing up to the perverted law that his father, I come in my father's Shem, his Agape, his authority, his name. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, and the Torah. Not Jesus, not God. That's not what that means. That's not what Shem is, the second born of Noah. Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Shem meant authority, or ox, or leader, or law. It was the law, Father's law, the Torah. As I said, there were 613 statutes and commandments. So, that's all you can do. Just stand up to what he did. And if they persecute you or whip you or hang you or shoot you or put holes in you, then, hey, you're suffering this flesh, but your prize awaits. He will pour out a just measure on all of us. The measure you pour out on this world, brothers and sisters, will be poured back out on you. He returns a just measure on each one of us. You can't go after anybody. So anybody who thinks they got away and what they did to me, even if my son has been killed and my daughter, I can't go seek vengeance after who I know who did it. I already told him who did it or where to look for him. I know where he's at, but I can't go look for him or I'm going to get killed, And so I'm dealing with some pretty nasty people. I'm dealing with the government. Fuck the government. I'm not afraid of the government. Worry not who can take your flesh. Worry who can take your flesh and your soul, he says. So I'm not a perfect person, but I know that Christ stood up to the law and he paid dearly. They hated him, remember? And they whipped him for doing that. And he, remember, you turned my father's house into a den of thieves, huh? So, yeah, it comes and goes. Flesh is something that you'll come in and out of through your eternal life. And, hell is not what you think. So don't worry about hell because you're already probably in it in case you don't know what it is. So hell's that empty space. It's called knowledge. Abyss is bathos or busos. Abyss is no knowledge. That's what it is. Not anything else. 100% hell is no knowledge, not anything else. But everybody thinks God's in the sky and heaven's above their head and they live on a planet. And that's all space farce. I guess that's what you can call it. So, force, right? Luke, I am your father. Oh, wait, MAGA, high priest of the Satan church. Those who say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon those who call out for that peace and safety. So come on. So I'm going to do this, brother. So you got to be prepared if I'm gone to continue to carry this torch. Something happens to me. They don't like me. I don't care what this government thinks of me. I don't care what these locals think of me. I already would have left this country if I could, just for my own safety. I asked to be put in witness protection. I asked for, them to take care of this a long time ago where this wouldn't have been affected. Maybe my son wouldn't have been affected by it, and daughter, but it is what it is. I just have to deal with it. So the attorney's going to set it for trial. And I said, well, how long till we got to go to trial? He said, Tracy, you've been waiting a long time. Not long. So I don't care what happens to me. Even if they convict me, I'd still appeal, but they're not going to convict me. I already told John, looked him right in his face, said, any jury that watches just and you can look right for your face right now, just watch the SWAT raid, and you tell me they're going to convict me just watching that SWAT raid. It's all live stream. And the jury's going to get all the, discovery on hopefully some backstory. He hasn't talked to me yet, on a whole lot, but he said, I'm staying hyper-focused. They don't have the evidence. They have bad evidence. So, we'll see. They're trying to say they're charging me with hindering prosecution and interfering with a peace officer for telling my son to not stop the car, and I didn't physically stop him, so that's not hindering prosecution. And those other bogus charges with putting Paul Palmer with that second court date, they didn't notify me properly, and then they came arrested me, took my guns, and that's actually a retaliatory charge. I need to talk to John about that too a little bit more, and I will. But he's got it. He said, I'm more stay hyper focused on not all that other stuff. And he said, the only thing, Tracy, he said, the only thing that I really, because he knows I know quite a bit. I mean, I'm not stupid. I told my attorney, I told the judge who's going to put me in a trial for 6 days and told me I don't know anything I was talking about. I said, okay, yeah, you do whatever you want there, buddy. Okay, but this is going to be a mistrial. And he asked the district attorney, the chief finance, so what do you want to do? Well, my idea is trying this more, not just once, to try it once. We'd have to try it multiple times. Yeah, that means it would be a mistrial, you dumbass. So I'm done playing their game. He said, Tracy, the only thing I don't agree with, he said that with you on the whole thing, because he said so far, and he says that they didn't have to show you the warrant. I said, yeah, but they didn't have to grenade my son and daughter to wake them up, John. Okay, I hear you, but you don't just grenade somebody to the face. They look at this warrant and any jury's going to go, oh my God, oh, you fucking shit. He's got his, and I'm going to bring this stuff up when I'm there. Listen, they're shooting my son. His hands are in the air. I'm looking, and we're all being peaceful. Nobody's resisting. They never looked at his son has done this evidence. See, John's kind of got to have a little bit thing here. I already tried to tell him, John, stop ignoring this 180 hours. John, appreciate it, and I know you will, but the 180 hours is going to come up. So I already told him what to do is just put pressure on them. I have to sue these people now, brothers and sisters. I have to stop being such a little not like, I'm saying, like not like that. Like, stop being so nice, and that's stupid. I need to sue these people and hold them accountable. They possibly killed my son and daughter. I mean, I can't even file a police report on their missing bodies right now by the people who shot my son. How do they have jurisdiction to come out here and wreck everything, but they don't even have insurance to look for my son and daughter? They don't have the jurisdiction. They said that's why they can't take a police report, a missing persons report. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what that means, Benny. Jesus didn't die. Jesus only died for this many people's sins. Everybody else is going to hell. Most people, Benny, just so you know, go to hell. When you walk around and you look at everybody, almost everybody you know is evil. There's only just a little bit of people on this earth that are good. Everybody's evil. You don't know who Jesus is. You don't know what died. Where did he die? Tell me how he died, Benny. I'll take a pause in my own thing always to teach. I don't care to show up, whatever. I'm going to still keep teaching until I die. So throw me in jail, I teach. Don't matter. Come on, Benny. You speak like some Christian idiot. You smell like an idiot, like a religious person. I rebuke all religions. They're all vain. Christ only died for his bride, and that's just a fraction. Most go to hell. That's the word. Did you know that, Benny? Most people enter through the, wide gate, go to hell. So everybody you know is probably evil. If you know anybody who celebrates anything, they're a Satanist. You know what a Satanist is? Anybody who even adds a single letter or jot or period, take away, or celebrates a single day. You don't know anybody that celebrates anything, do you? Well, they're a Satanist, Benny. Something about my Benzo with tinted windows. I had to say it. It was a good playlist, so. All right, it is what it is. Move on. Project Blue Book. They're going to unalive half, 200 plus a million Americans, and you got people that don't even know Christ. They're not going to fend well. And that's okay. Remember, Father creates most people to go to hell. Most people don't go to heaven. When you walk around, you look around in this world, you're thinking, oh, well, most people are pretty good. And no, most people are very evil. So I'll get back to you. Okay? No, you won't. Goodbye. Don't ever come back here ever again. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Thanks for your time. Only 2 times, and I got it. Don't not. He's supposed to sup with vipers. I knew you're a viper when you came in. You smell like swine. You work for the government. You support the government. You pig liquor, boot liquor, jack boot thug, liquor. Christ, he stood up to the law. They beat him for that. Whipped him, threw him in jail. Does anybody want to throw you in jail? Then you're not Christ-like. You don't know who Christ is. You don't know who Jesus is. There's no J in Hebrew, and we won't fight over letters. So, Jesus is a translation. He said, don't translate. Don't go after transgender Jesus, right? Yeah, there's more than one Jesus, right? Do you know anything about the other Jesus? No. So, thanks, Father. Doesn't make me special. It says, don't boast because that's pride. greatest of all time, GOAT, peace, MAGA. So, you sound like John Connor, like Jesus Christ on the movie Terminator. I'll be back. So tired of these watered down religious people. They don't even sup with one word. So, Benny, tell me about aliens. Are you still in here? Aliens. Slime creatures from outer space. Balls. So, I've been studying that a little bit through, I know what you talk about. Not all of it. And that's, I've actually been following a little bit too with, what's his name? He's been covering a little bit too off and on. I've seen him cover some blogs on it. Roger at Mud Fossil, of all people, but Roger talks about scriptural stuff too. Do you follow Rush? Do you follow Roger at Mud Fossil? It is, you know what I'm saying? The whole, I'm saying it's kind of where I like to take sometimes and watch some other people, you know, get interest, because that's something I've known of that for a while, but I like to look at other people's perspectives. I mean, I want the truth, but that's why I told you don't stop studying, don't stop studying. It's you need to see the other side. But Roger has a really interesting, and I think he's done now. I think I've watched 2 or 3. Roger at Mud Fossil University. His name is Roger. He's really very interesting guy. Very, very, very well studied man. Just extremely, you can tell he spent his whole life studying. You know, some of us kind of devote our life to the study. So, okay, that's cool. I mean, I just, like I said, what do you believe when you happen to you die? You got to answer my question first. It's already written what happens to you after you die. You don't go to the sky. I can promise you that. You don't go to the sky. So, what's going on, guys? Thanks for coming in. Do you believe in conspiracy theories? Do you know that conspiracy theory is a coined term for people, coined, like tokenized by the CIA, by an agency that is a criminal agency that should be dismantled immediately and is against the Constitution? Okay, and anybody who uses that is shows that you're an idiot. Do you think that the COVID was a scam, demic, or was that real? I mean, we're past that now, okay? We're past red or blue. We're past conspiracy theorists. That's all nonsense. I mean, you act like a child. Conspiracy theory. That's so 2000 or something. Oh, the computers are not going to turn to 0 and now we're all going to die. Come on, man. That's a coined term by the CIA. Theory, how about conspiracy fact? Conspiracy truth. Anyways, hold on a second, guys. Oh my goodness, I gotta get it for a second. Guys want to go out for a minute? Yeah, go out for a minute. Oh, what do we got going here? Okay. Because if you watch your own body language, you're on edge as fuck. What are you talking about there? About 6 months. That, hey, you know what, Rusty? Kevin said that about the difference between socialism and communism. Socialism and communism. What's the difference? About 6 months. Yeah. Freaking rights, boys. So, anyways, hyper focus here. Fallen angel technology. Operation Nanook. Operation Paperclip. Operation Warp Speed. Operation Godspeed or Warp Speed. Operation Mockingbird. This is all coming to head. There was a time, you know what I'm saying? Because know what happens when you die. You're an idiot. Get out of here, official. I know what happens when we die. We go be with Father. You don't ever read the word. You're an idiot. Get out of here. Go learn. Go read the scripture. It says exactly what happens after we die. We don't go to the sky. So I can guarantee that. Nothing's coming from the sky, and that's the whole nonsense about this whole world. Alien is a word. Go study words, one word at a time. So I'm not going to answer stupid questions. Moderators moderate anybody that's being an idiot. We're going to stay hyper-focused on this Operation Blue Book and how they're going to redo this 923 ritual again of this World War II equals World War III, and they're already doing it. Everything that Trump is doing, Adolf did. It's the same layout. It's like putting a hand in a glove, a blueprint, like one over another. And I'm guaranteeing you, this whole stupidity of the world thinking that there's fallen angels gave Adolf fallen technology is, you know what I'm saying, is they're going to do it again. And that's how they're going to drop all this new technology on you, period. That's it. I don't care what people think. I've been studying this for 30 plus years. So nobody's welcome in here if they're not talking about spirituality, preparedness, or Operation Mockingbird. Yeah, Blue Book. There is, and the Deagle maps, which shows 200 million Americans unalive by the end of 2025. So will you be one of those on the list? Which list will you be on? Unalive? Don't worry about it. Your day of death's already written. No, you don't go no third heaven. Get out of here, Benny. You're an idiot. I knew you were going to say something fucking stupid. Tell me where heaven's at, Benny. Tell me where heaven's at. Hold on. Okay, no, just leave him alone. Leave him alone. I'm done with a lot of men that does. Okay, so anyways, Benny, where's heaven at? Where is heaven? Let's see if you know where heaven's at. You're gonna ask me where I go when you die, and then you can tell me where's heaven's at, right? Or was that somebody else that asked that? No, you asked the question earlier. Why are you still in here? I want two definitions out of you. Tell me where heaven's at first. You don't have to define heaven. Tell me the definition of hell. And I think you're already in here. Because there's no gods in the sky, I can tell you that. That's why he divorced his bride Israel. Gods in the sky. And idolatry. Making up their own. Gods in the sky. In their own agape. Halakha, Haggadah. Are you just some watered down idiot Christian? Because you smell like a lollipop, one of these religious people. You know, just sweet. Don't ask questions. And no, you should already been asking a lot of questions. So go back a bit, dude. Okay, you might want to go back and look and see what I said. Okay, so anyways, only chat that's going to be allowed until the end of 2025 is Operation Blue Book. not beam. They will use beam. You need to go research this, and then all of this will make sense. Okay? No one on earth look at this idiot. Just listed. No one on earth knows where heaven or hell is. Hell is called no knowledge. Earth is not below your feet, and heaven's not below your head or above your head. Get out of here. I told that person enough. Get listed out of here. Yeah, there you go. Operation Blue Balls. These people are teases. They like to pull it away from you. So. The United States of Israel. That is cards is allowed in here. That you say one more comment like that, I'm going to give you a wrench. Seriously, man, guys, come on. Focus, guys. Deagle maps. Deagle maps. Deagle maps. Yeah, we know MAGA is the high priest of the Satan Church. We know you support a PDF file supporter. The president's a PDF file. Look at these people, brothers and sisters, looking. I want you to go back and you tell yourselves this every day. Look around. Everybody you know is evil. Everybody in your family is evil. Most people are evil. That's what the scripture says. Charlie Kirked himself. Be quiet. You don't even know that. Don't say that now, cards. That might get you thrown out of here. Don't talk about that. I don't believe that for a second. Do you know how many different angles I've seen? Different angles? I was just talking with Kevin. I was showing him 5 different angles where they all had pop smoke, did it. Don't talk about that in here, please. That is a honeypot is what it is. It's a honeypot. Okay, enough, guys. Listen. We're not talking about anything else but preparedness. We're not talking about anything else but getting prepared on how we're going to be the ones that are being the 99 million and not the 200 plus million that are unalived if you're in America. I can't leave right now. If I could, I would be out of this state. Apparently, Father, he's making me stay here, and until I can leave, I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to continue pushing what I've already been doing all along. You need to get away from the cities. I can tell you that already. You shouldn't even be in a city. If you live in a city, please leave now. You're already just sold out. You're probably not welcome here. I mean, seriously, narrow is the way. Like country roads are narrow. The Broadway and the cruller leaves and the frosted lucky. Whatever. God hates capitalism, so I know God doesn't like any cities. Remember Babylon? They try to build up towers, and yeah, that's pride. He used to have a pride. That's called the heavens. So. No, Benny, his name is not Jesus Christ. Those terms were never written in this book. Fuck you, Benny, you're a piece of shit. I knew you're a lollipop Christian. His name, his Shem, is he said I am. He said before Abraham was I am. Thank you. I should have not let that person stand there. That's my bad for letting Benny stand here. So I need you to look up Operation. It's Project Blue Book. Blue Book. Where they're talking about this fooling people with this aim. This has been going on since they brought all these top Nazi, scientists, chemists, physicists. This is called Operation Paperclip. To set the top head scientist of NASA was a Nazi. Top head scientist for the. You got to go back and research your history. This is not hiding. We're studying this stuff for decades. It has been on the dark web, just like Donald has been on the, the black book list for decades. We already know he's a PDF file. We've known that for decades. Come on, even before he was elected, we knew this. So, yeah, and that is I am, Olivia. Remember? That is Shiloh. That is not Jesus. There's no J's in Hebrew. And we don't fight over letters in here. And there's no J's in Greek. That didn't exist. So it's not about letters. It's Shem. And Shem meant name, right? These people don't even use the right text. You can use there's only one accepted text. I ain't going to go into that. There's only one accepted text. Most 99. Oh my God, this person's still in here. Benny, you're a Satanist. I rebuke you, Benny. I rebuke you. You're a watered down idiot Christian. Get out of here. Name, it doesn't say name. It says Shem. You speak words that were not in the book, not canonized, and add, he said don't even add a period, and now you think you live in. What are you, on your period or something? You on your moon? You live on a ball? Oh, that jot that he said don't add it. Now NASA was the number one, remember, Nazi scientist, NASA, blew up, number one purchase of helium. You blew up that jot, period, and now you live on it? And you call it a planet? I rebuke you. Get out of here. You're an idiot. I don't have time for people like that. I'm getting ready to make sure that I'm not one of the 200 plus a million Americans that die. He said you must endure to the end. And they've had since 2017. They did a pretty good job with the Vidco, the old ring around the rosy, the old crown, So we're not going to fight over letters. He said before Abraham was I am. Remember when they told him, his prophets were there. They knew he was Father, the God of I am, Ram, fire, fuck your sister, fuck your brother, have sex with your sister, be fruitful, multiply, eye for an eye. Somebody broke into your house. You could killed your brother. You could sneak in his house at night, kill his brother. Yeah, that was the God of, right? Judgments, right? Yeah, you could put judgments on eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, right? You've forgotten the Old Testament. Sacrifice of blood, take your son on, put him on Isaac on the altar. Blood sacrifice, have post your door. Anybody got an address? Your doorway, your headdress, your address of your doorway marked with blood so we would pass over. Father used to require these things. None of these things are now under this. We're not under the law. Remember, they knew he was Father, and they knew he was Father in flesh. He was the Word in flesh. He said, I come in the Shem, in the Agape name, not Jesus. That's not what he said. I come in all the letters, all of them. And if you add a single one, you're going to hell. Old Testament, nothing's changed. One sin, death. Add a jot, death. You don't know Jesus. You don't know Christ. Neither of those words are even written in the text. Lord, Jesus Christ, devil, Lucifer, planet. I'll keep going. You speak words that are not written in the text. So I rebuke you. Speak the words that are in the text if you want to speak in here. Let's get back to Project Blue Book, because they're doing this by the text. Everything they do is scripture. They put it in television, animation, Adult Swim, Simpsons. Hell, the halftime Super Bowl show is either Genesis, Ezekiel, or Revelation. You just don't know the scripture. And they put it in everything. They mock you. As is above, so is below. They do it by the celestial firmament. And they know you can't go to the sky. They're just fucking with you. They're masters at this. Yeah, they are. Mr. Warp Speed, come on. So, homie, don't play that. Focus on what the hell, how are you going to live? Look at these Deagle maps. Okay, we'll move on after this in 3 months from now. We'll move on from this. It's fucking it's a quarter of 1 year, okay? You can't focus for 3 months and dig down without causing some kind of panic. Just go get shit now while nobody's even figured out what's coming. They put military in almost 20 plus streets. No, it is. With the others, like half of this nation in America, it's a corporation has military on the streets. Nothing's happening. Why in the fuck are they putting? You think that's over Venezuelans? You're out of your mind. They opened up a can of worms there. You need to go look back in 2006 when they tried to take on the cartel, how fast they flopped on that and flipped the script. They're not putting this genie back in this bottle ever again. You don't shoot, 11 migrants in the middle of the ocean, call them fucking drug dealers, and get away with it. It's going to come back. You don't kick everybody's ass for 50 plus fucking years, stomp everybody, and think that's not going to come back to bite you in the ass. I don't do karma, but come on, be real. We got to stomp everybody for 50 plus fucking years, and you got to be free. Stand on an X, go inside, flatten the curve. That ain't free. There's more people locked up in America than there is all other nations combined. You know that? How's that a free state? It's not. And everybody's either they're not thrown into jail, then they're a slave by debt. They get their inflation creation machines. Now they're locking people in jail for being poor, just like they did during World War II, huh? Put you in work camps. I already told you long ago on this ministry that's going to happen. 11 fucking years ago, I told you on Truth Viral Television this was going to happen. So don't act like this first time I put this out on the internet. I made this long ago. I'm going to put this out right now again. You will not make it if you are on the surface of this rock, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. And I'm not telling you, I don't want to go in the ground. But I was telling that to Kevin today. I've always told him, I said, hey, they done this. Do we have a place, underground, there, where we're supposed to be? And he's like, what do you know? I'm like, Kevin, the book. He's like, oh yeah, so I'm not trying to go down in there. There's different levels underneath our feet. They got you thinking that there's hell. You go to hell. It's under your feet. It's not what hell is. Hell's no knowledge, like this idiot right here. Radio talking about some PDF file supporter. Far leaning to the right, a little knew too much, talked a little too much, and ended up leaning to the left like an ass. Yeah, remember a donkey and an elephant? This is what they're going to talk about when the country's on lockdown. I seen a thing that the Pentagon used this idiot to recruit, not him, Charlie Kirked himself. So we're going to ban that word in here. I'm going to go back and ban that right now, actually, too. Hold on a second. We're going to do that because I learned how to do that the other day. I'm not going to hear that stupid name in here ever again. Don't want to ever hear that name. Yeah, greatest of all time. There you go, you MAGA idiot. A goat. There's goats and sheep. Good job. Okay, where do we find this here? Man, where was that at? What is that about? Epstein didn't Epstein himself, and Charlie himself. Hashtag that out. Where's that at? I found this the other day. How to ban words. Well, I might have to do that. Okay, guys, I'll have to do that after the chat. I think it's in my studio as a content creator. I think that's in a different part. It's not in here during the live. So, anyways. All right, so Operation Blue Book is something that has been in play since World War II, and it sets up for the end of 2025 with the U.S. currency being an 80-year reserve currency in 2017. I talked about this in 2017. That was the 923 Revelation 12 sign, was it not? Yes, which is more important to me than any other celestial firmament marker that's been, that is celestial gospel. That is celestial bis in the celestial firmament. But most people don't even remember, even prior to that, we saw the Star of David. We hadn't seen that in over 2,600 years. Anybody who said they loved Christ, knew who Christ was, should be, fell on their face in 2015 with, what? That it happened, and it hadn't happened over 26. What? That was the birth that birthed Jesus Christ? And it happened again? No, there was what was happening in 2015? I don't know. Oh, well, that was right after the old tetrad blood moons, wasn't it? Were you paying attention? No. What are the tetrad blood moons? Don't worry about it. It's just the Gemini bookends that we're at right now. Aries, Aquarius, Aries, Pisces, Aries, fire, water, air. Come on, boys. You boys are the best guys ever, the best. Okay, I gotta stop talking about this. I want to keep trying to teach when I need to be talking about Project Blue Book. We're going to talk about this. Fallen angel technology is something we've all heard. Every one of you in this room have heard this technology or this term. There's no such thing as fallen angels. Fallen doesn't mean from the sky. During World War II, he was given fallen. That technology has been around, and it doesn't come from the sky. And that's the whole, as easy as it's going to be to do this next false flag event in this country. Period. I don't care what people think, because there's a rebirth. What they did during World War II, they're going to do it again. And that's all the support of this is this Operation Paperclip, Operation Mockingbird, Operation Nanook. All these operations lead to a final, they didn't do these things. I'm military. It's like doing 5G, 5D, not G, ban anybody who says Charlie Kirk. All Charlie Kirk conversations will be banned. The only thing you can talk about in here right now is how, if you're going to be the one who survives these Deagle maps. It's an HD fat chat only, and it's not because of the high definition of what you see. I'm on a 2G phone or whatever. It's the fat was the meat. That was the best part, they said. So take and eat, chew up the meat and spit out the bones. But there's no conversations, anything other than preparedness, the gospel, and how you're going to be prepared and not be one of these people that are dead by the end of 2025. With that's 200 million. That means there's a good chance that most of you in this room aren't going to be here. If they're not true, then great. But I'm thinking that it is, looking at what they're getting ready to do. Because they're getting ready to drop a payload of robots on you. And you're going to think that there's some fallen angel technology when it's the government's, DARPA, Boston Dynamics, continuity of government. Elon Musk has got warehouses of these things. How about a sex doll that's megalithic, 40-foot tall? Those little babies, we'll blow those up. We'll have a little baby, rub your baby buggy bumper little till you put you in your little work camp, your little 15-minute bubble trouble. Yeah. We'll credit score you. It leads you around. Yeah. Remember, there were giants in the land at the days of Noah. It says when his return, there'll be giants in the land. Remember, that was the sign. Be drinking and partying and going to buy a Tesla and, taking the dog, take a shit at the dog park and going along like nothing's happening. And then bam! Sorrow's like a thief in the night. And he said he would come like a thief in the night. You'd be sleeping. He said the enemy came and sowed seeds while you were sleeping. You know what that means? To sow seeds? That's the word broadcast. We're having a black sheep broadcast in here getting ready for the Project Blue Book. We're going to be one of those people who make it. We're going to die trying. We're going to roll around like a turtle on our back or get flipped over and be fucked. Whatever, apologize. It is what it is. There's some easy time when the governments are trying to whack everybody. Remember, whack the nation? Stand on the X. It's not normally a good thing when you got an X on your back. XXX, 666, blah, 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 like the stakes that they put in them. Oh, sounds like the kitty's on the roof. So, okay, I have a question. I'm seeing this humanoid-looking being that merge on the people and show formation like side of the move. Do you know what it is? Yes, it's AI technology, right? No, it's government tech. The government's doing this. So, yes. Elsa, let's stay hyper-focused. Okay, listen. We're gonna make this real quick for you. The alien is a word. Aliens is 2 words. There's no such thing as aliens. Alien doesn't exist. Fallen doesn't mean out of the sky. That's not what fallen means. There's nothing over your head. Oh, yeah, there is. They've been bringing crap up there, with their international swim station. And they're going to drop those robots on top of you. And you're going to think that this is some kind of, you've seen it in the movies. You've been programmed since you were a child, stung by the stinging bee and got, oh, yeah. Got public television, and you saw this even in school. I'm old enough. They rolled out that little cart that the space shuttle Columbia burst, and all those people are still alive. What are you talking about? NASA, they're number one purchaser of helium on this rock. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, this is going to be easy to do. This is not very hard to do. Last time, what was it? The Ring Around the Rosie, the Vidco, where they convinced everybody a virus was alive, and a virus is not alive. In history, Salvador Dali opinions. Nice. Colossus and Bertrand. Okay, so this is what we're talking about, guys. You're welcome here if you want to talk about this. We got 3 months to talk about this, and then we can forget about it for a little while. Seriously, it's these Deagle maps that line up with this alien false technology, and they got the whole world thinking a virus alive. So if they convince everybody that computer's alive and put that computer in a robot, then they have every reason to tell everybody the computers killed those people. I mean, the robots did it, and the robots are alive. So it wasn't us. We didn't do it. We're just the government. We were just here to save you. We got governments to fight them. We got robots to fight those robots. Get in your little camp. They're coming from above. Oh my God, they're coming from below too. What are you going to do? Get in your bubble trouble camp. Oh, get in your 15-minute work city. They're going to pull this so fast. Get ready. You better enjoy this nice calm right now before the storm. This is what he says, sorrows. Remember, it's not the end, but the beginning of sorrows. So it's going to get a lot worse. And I see exactly they've had how many? Well, 2017, they put out these Deagle maps, which shows, again, by the end of 2025, 200 plus million Americans are gone. And if you notice, most of these nations on the Deagle maps are European nations, or almost predominantly what you might call white. I showed Kevin these maps. He's like, dang, whoa, what does that mean? I said, I don't know. I didn't write the maps. I just showing you what the information says. I don't make, predictions. I show you what they're telling you, what they say they're going to do. So it's not very hard to figure out where this is going. And like I said, you have 3 months to get ready right now. Not in a panic. And I don't think you even have that much time, because I do think here within the next month or two, there will be military. They're already adding military in every state here. 25 in America? Almost half of America has military in it. The Supreme Court already ruled that Trump broke the law. It's never been done. Posse Comitatus already told you they cannot use the military as law enforcement against the people, and they are doing that. They did it in California. I try to explain to you. Remember when they had all those guardmen come in there and all that? Where were those shields facing with the people? They had, those were facing the government buildings, or were they protecting the government? Yeah, they're protecting the government. They weren't protecting the people. You better wake the fuck up, man. You know what I'm saying? Cool, you got 60 acres. Cool, good stuff, Bill. Done. So it would be great if citizens follow the fucking law. What do you mean they're cooker? You Neo? What do you mean follow the law? My goats are a food. That Stuart, stop talking like that. You're gonna get a wrench. All right, no, I'm giving him. If he's not lying, I don't think he's lying. That's kind of stuff I want in here. Keep that kind of conversation in here. Okay, you understand? And when I give you the wrench, moderate who anybody's not. There's 3 conversations that are going to go on in this chat right now. Operation Blue Book and how you're getting ready for it. Look it. Bell says, well, I got 60 acres and I'm eating goats. Well, guess what? I had 65, but I sold 20, Bill, and I got rid of my goats, but I got chickens, and I will get goats back here, and I had sheep. Good stuff. Thank you. Outstanding. Thank you for doing things like that, because that's a good way to fucking stick it to the man, isn't it? The government hates you when you grow your own food, guys. Do you want to get on the government shit list? Sell organic cow milk, goat milk. They'll be on their hit list. You're a bad man if you sell organic goat milk. You know that, don't you? Okay, anyway, so cool, outstanding, good stuff. I had all those too, good stuff for you. Outstanding. Thank you, Stuart. Keep the conversation rolling with homesteading. I'm off the grid. Like I said, I'm on a farm. I built a ranch. Same thing. I'm just saying I'm a farmer. I just want to farm. I want to be left alone. I just want to grow my animals, have good food, and not do all this nonsense. But I have to get everybody prepared. Father birthed me to do this, so I can still run a farm and I can still, manage my time. Time management is when you have animals, you can't it's dumpster diving. Heck yeah, there we go. Yeah, I like that. I like it like that. That's the kind of stuff I like that, because I'm a repurpose. Look, everything in all my buildings is all repurpose. All of this stuff has been used and been used before and has been served many times. Like all these boards are different size. People probably think these are like 2x4s. These are larger. These are like 8 and 10, and these are larger boards. They don't look like it because I'm not from away, but I got boards that are real long. But I repurpose everything, man. Good stuff for you, man. Good stuff. That's the kind of stuff I like, guys. That's the kind of conversation we need to be in here. We need to be resourceful. We need to repurpose things when we can. And, some of the older ways are the better ways. If you go back to the older ways, they were tried and tested. Thousands of years, they used these skill set. Like three generations of man could go into the woods and a woman and feed themselves. Now they're going to die unless they have a Piggly Wiggly, or a Vaughn's or an Alpha Beta, or do they even have those grocery stores anymore? Oh, anyways, Winco or Walmart or Hardee's or the Kroger, whatever, they need to be into, and brothers, sisters, whatever, that's them. And again, you're not going to fend well in the future. You're going to be, whatever's coming is not going to be the end of the world. It means you're just going to be very dependent on their system. You're going to be eating food printed by the mile and George Jetson type food, stuff you probably don't want to eat. The food they feed us right now is poison. You know what I'm saying? They feed us food flavored poison. And we just kill ourselves with it. We're like, oh, hey, I'll just eat some of this box flavored, corn syrup and Yellow Lake number 5 or dye yellow or come on. Throw me in a lake of blue dye, huh? Yeah, paint me Avatar. Shell, call me Papa Smurf. So, hey, guys, I'm telling you, you have time right now, guys, before the captain puts on the fast and seatbelt sign. You probably should go get some TP for your bunghole, man. That's kind of a luxury. That is the American survival apocalypse survival kit. It is. It's, honey, we got top ramen and teepee. We're going to make it through the apocalypse. Right? So good stuff, guys. I ain't tripping, right? Yeah, whatever. So anyways, what you need to do is you need to try to make a plan to get away from chaos, because I think that the people aren't going to fend very well. I don't know how the hell you fend off robots, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Good stuff. So, stock up. That's how it works, Elsa. It's like in work. You chip off a little way, chip off a little bit, chip off a little bit, chip off. Now, damn, I got a lot more done than I thought I did. Wow. So, that's the way it's supposed to be, Belle. That's the way it's supposed to be. Good. That's the way it's supposed to be. Outstanding. People, you're not supposed to be loved by the world. It says you're loved by the world to be hated by my Father. You're not here to be nice. You're not here to be like most people are evil. That's what the scripture says. Look around. Most people enter the wide gate and go to hell. That means they're not a good person. Father created him as vessel of wrath fitted for destruction from the foundation of the world. He only creates very few people on this rock that are walking upright and righteous and are accountable for one, and do things that are Christ-like, as well as being more organic and standing up to the law for others and being charitable and having abundance. Remember, he had extra bread and extra. Why everybody's just trying to survive? You could thrive. Imagine you could not just have 10,000 gallons of water filtration personal, but you could have 100,000 gallons. Call now. No, come on, guys. There's things you can do. You can get ahead of a lot of these things. They're on sale right now because they haven't shut the store down. Everything's on sale. Everything's on sale. And you got the memo? We did that last time. Put a number 1 in the banner if you got the memo that says everything's on sale right now. The government just contacted all governments. Everything's on sale. And it will, Zombie. Thanks for coming back, Zombie. I'll give you a wrench. You've been here before. Thanks for coming back. Keep it clean. Treat these BS comments out of here, Okay, there we go, guys. Come on. People are not ready, bro. Monitor when you we don't need the monitor control will make sure you only put 3 allotted tomatoes in your cart this time. No, fuck you. You ain't even going in there. You're going to take the 2 we give you because you already got 3 last time. And so these 2, I don't care if one of them's bruised. This is curbside delivery, bitch. You ain't going in the store anymore. They already set it up. Uber Eats, DoorDash. Yeah, they got all those spots out there. What do you think they did during the COVID? No, you're not going in the store anymore. You better enjoy all this, brothers, sisters. You know what you better enjoy right now? And I don't mean to go there. I've been a veteran. I ain't trying to go there. It is what it is. It's very quiet right now, brothers. I tried to tell people this, and I've told people this for many years, okay? And I remember telling my son this. Many years, okay? And I remember telling my son this. You'll know when it's happening, brothers, sisters, because I'll have to talk like this, okay? Look over here. No, or you won't. Yeah, you better start learning some hand and arm signals because it's going to get really loud. You better enjoy your peace and quiet. I'm serious. It ain't happening until you're talking like that. Okay? Yes. You better enjoy that peace and quiet. You better get down there to the store. What did Nate say from Canadian Prepper? When the lights go out, that can be an EMP. That could be a sun flare. That could be something nefarious. It could be anything, right? One day right now is like 100 days when the lights go out. You better get down there before it gets loud. It's going to be, you better have hearing protection. I have multiple hearing protection at my door. Earplugs and hearing protection, brothers, sisters. And you need to get some kind of protection for wind. When a shit storm, you want to get hit in the face with shit, you better have something covering your face. I don't like the face diaper thing, but there will be a time to put the face diaper on. Okay, it's not yet. You have to wear a mask. There's time when the shit storm comes. You put on. Wake up, guys! Nothing better in the morning than the smell of nim, huh? Oh, I love the smell of victory. No, you're gonna know it's gonna get loud, guys. You better have something to, you'll know. So start to learn. Any kind of hand signal, anything. Signals that you with your family look up. There is massive, easy hand and arm signals. You don't want to see this. Covering we might gas. Never mind. Things like this, communication. Make sure you have radios, some basic radios, even just some, handheld AM/FM radio. Or walkie talkies are going to be, they have some pretty good ones out right now. I have ham radios or whatever. I mean, you can even get those cheap Bofang or whatever that type. Just get your basics, brothers, sisters. You should have a go bag. But I'm telling you right now, you ain't going nowhere. You need to be at your bug out now. What are you going to wait until all 50 states have military on them? There's Fallujah, type style, Afghanistan. We got checkpoints on every corner street. And it's not that the world's not going to go on, but you're going to be checked for everything you do. They're going to control the movement of everything in the future. That is the future. A blockchain, tokenized, credit scored, digital tokenized communism. The world's going to go on, brothers and sisters. We're going to be like this Pharaoh Bell here who grows his own goats. Oh my God, he's such an outlaw. Well, you want to eat some food printed by the mile? How about you can get it right now, huh? Eat your kids? How about eat your bleach kids? McNuggets. So get the things you need and don't do it in a panic. If you went right now, brothers and sisters, nobody can even know what the hell's going on. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's can even know what's going on. No, nobody knows what's going on in America. They put military in almost 25 streets. Everybody's like, everything is awesome when you're part of Team America. Oh, this is great again. Is this what great again feels like? By the way, anyone? Is this what great again feels like? You know what I'm saying? So, come on. Things aren't going to get, cheaper. I don't think we're going to ever reach a deflationary period in this country. It could happen, but I don't think so. There might come a time where you wish you wouldn't have had 50 black screen TVs in your house because you had one in the pooper and one in every room, and then you didn't have a generator. Ooh, that would have been a bad. One generator could have bought. I bet you that one generator you could buy 100 TVs later. Who's going to watch TV? So think about your purchases now too. There are a lot of things like, I don't have my good one, and I broke mine. It's my fault, but guys. I live off. It's essential. Because people are afraid as hell of the dark. Nobody's ever afraid of the dark, but remember, people used to live by the dark. They'd move by the dark. They would plant by the light of the moon. Nobody slept for 8 hours. Nobody's afraid of the dark. There's only a modern day thing to be afraid of the dark. People are stupid, man. People have lost it. But listen, a headlamp, guys. This is essential, guys. This is extremely essential. Something like this when the light goes out so you can free your hands up rather than carrying a flashlight. It's going to be massive. It really is. These are things, hands-free is going to be, and you can look down. Okay. So if you don't have a headlamp, and like I said, mine broke. I'm kind of bummed because I used it so many times. I used it for the studio light. It was like $50. I don't normally pay that much for anything, but oh well, I don't have that kind of money. I spent all my money on the ministry. I've got $100,000 out right now just on my son. And now I have to go to court for even my own self. And I don't think my son's alive. So I think that was all, whatever it is, what it is. I don't want to start talking about that again, but get these things that you need. Okay. Get them now. And another thing I'd like to, it's the very first thing on your list. Invite them without reading their scriptures, morons. What do you talk about there, Barack? Nice, good stuff. Man, sounds like you're living the dream there, Bill. So your first preparedness thing that you're going to have, brothers and sisters, is going to be water. You're going to have to take care of this very first. If you don't have any kind of preparedness, this is going to be your very first item that you need to purchase for preparedness is your water filtration. Okay? Personal water filtration. Make a bunch of these. Some of you should probably the one that I have in my hand is my favorite one. It's actually the hardest one to find. I don't know what prepared me. It's one of the more expensive ones that you can buy. They make this one with it's in it's a stainless. Yeah, put a 5x5 if you can hear stainless. Yeah, put a 5x5 if you can hear me. Put 5x5 if you can hear me. Put 5 by chat. Oh, sometimes you smile. Prelim to what could happen if the internet went out. You know, what if you could never get on the internet? Oh, what if you came up on the internet and you couldn't search anything ever again? No more searches, no more search engines, no more navigation. You're going to do what we tell you. You're going to go to this screen. You're going to go through this window, A, B, C. It'd be like a multiple, it's be like a multiple internet. How about that? Welcome to multiple choice internet, where you've entered the net. You can enter this screen and swipe to that screen. You can select this, this, or this, this, or that. That's the new interweb. Are you ready for the new interweb? No more search bars, no more search engines, can't navigate, can't do none of that like that. You just, it's like testing. No more searching like that. If it's searching, it's going to be a filled in blank, like name, slave number, you know. You want food printed by the mile or Soylent Green? You guys ready for the new interweb? No more search engines. You better find what you need now. You better get that information locked up. Does that make sense though, guys? I don't think they'll ever get rid of the internet. I think it'll go down for a while, but they have another internet. And they'll have their internet, but there'll be no more internet like this. You'll go on the internet and you'll get your slave card and you'll hit your thing there and you'll pick your tomatoes or wait a minute, I already got tomatoes. I didn't get tomatoes this month already. What the hell? Don't argue. Oh my God, honey, our credit score just went down again. Don't argue with it again, all right? What are you going to do? It went down again. Oh, yeah, whatever, man. You guys think it ain't going to happen, man, but they're going to track and trace every single thing. You smoked a cigarette last week, you're off health care. Too many bong hits. It took too many bong hits. Your credit score's down. Now you don't qualify for, healthcare. And because you don't qualify for healthcare, you have tablets for everyone. Get your tabbies. Stand in line, get your tabbies, get your cheat test, get your free test. Yep, little tabbies, get your little pills. What kind of flavor would you like? No, you're gonna have to buy the protein. If you want the protein, you got to buy the protein pills too. Whatever. It's gonna get crazy, guys. It is like that. It's not gonna be the end of the world. That's the thing. Everybody wants it to be the end of the world. The world's not gonna end for a long time. We got a long way to the end of the world, as people think is the world already ended back at the COVID. You can't figure that out. You think we're gonna go back to 2019? You ain't. Yeah, right. The world already ended as we knew it a long time ago. So you better get to where you're like Bill and you're growing your own food. Like me, I eat butt nuggets every day. I have 5, 6, eggs, sometimes 10 eggs in a day. I need to eat them. I don't want extra eggs. I mean, I gave them to the dogs. I give them to Kevin, but my birds are laying machines. They've been doing a good job. So it's good to have extra protein when you need it. So do these things. Again, the thing I really want you to focus on. Yeah, I know, huh? Yeah, I know. We're just here to, if you think about it, we're just like a big piece of poop sack. And out it comes. We're like a big intestine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, but you are what you eat, right? Remember that. You put in crap, you're not gonna have a good, high energy. You want to feel like crap, eat crappy food. You want to feel good, eat good food. So I don't think I could make it without my superfood, my eggs and stuff, man. They've been really helping me. My stress level's been a little bit higher than it, I try to keep it to a minimum, I don't want my dogs to feel anything like that. So anyways, I have what is called the Leatherman Super Tool. I've had this tool. I've lost, I had two of them, then I lost one. I don't know whatever happened to the other one. I ended up buying another one. This is my favorite utility tool out of all the tools. I like that it's black. Okay, I've had one I bought. I've had a couple of them, but this one is really unique. It has a lock blade. There's one blade in this knife that just makes it superior to any other knife that I've ever owned, and I've had a lot of these. It's this blade right here. This blade right here, I could go up to the side of Sarah's car door and cut S. I could cut Sarah right in the side of her car door for her. We just fringe in the name Sarah right in the side of her car door. It has that blade edge that goes in, that's sharp at the end, but it's wider out and it gets thicker. So this is my favorite knife blade I've ever used. In like so many situations, this blade is far superior to any blade I've ever had. They make these, like I said, with this black one I've seen with a different blade, or the super tool with the other blade. I wouldn't get the one that has they make this in more like a, it's a pointed tip. I like this one because it has this rounded edge right here. This allows me to kind of work that in, use that to, never been here before. So, but I like this one because it has this lock blade too. Like it's a lock. Some of the original blade didn't lock. Now this has the ability to have this here. So when you want to collapse that, you pull that back and that allows the blade to come back. What it does, I can do the same thing. See, I can't pull that out. Or what I can do is I can pull one, because I used to have one, you can pull any one of these other ones out to 90 degrees. If you pull it out to 90 degrees, the other one will go back down, because that's what it's doing. It's pulling this mechanism up. When you pull this up, it's making this come back. So you don't want to try to lock all your blades too. I've done that before once. Don't pull them all out at one time. So this has a really good saw blade, for like sawing branches and stuff. You could probably, cut nice small branches to cut a good fire, small enough to cut. Oh man, that took forever. All right, maybe I'll shut this down. We're having some issues here. If it stays up for a little bit, I might hear, but it looks like I don't know what's going on. So I hope you're getting ready. This is pretty plain to see. See what's coming. They're already doing it. They're already locking down. I've heard of states that are already having people have issues crossing state lines without having a bunch of checkpoint type crossings. Not normal. Right within the United States, where you normally could drive right across borders, they're already starting to put checkpoints and checking people's IDs and doing this. Say it's going to get where you're not going to travel without being. They're going to want to know everywhere you're going, what you're doing, and everything you do is going to get tracked and traced, and that's where we're headed. Doesn't matter if people want this to happen or not. A lot of it's already happening already. You know how many cameras there are? You go in public, everywhere you go in public, in any city, it's like there's cameras everywhere. It's weird. I think people forget that when they live in a city. Everywhere they walk is being recorded. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, recorded. People all get butthurt about recording in public. You don't have any right to privacy in public, so you got to create your own privacy. Yeah, that's good, Sabrina. That's awesome. That's all we can do, So what I can do, remember, I don't have any income, and I got to do what I can. When I get income, I got to spend on an asset. So don't, waste it. Tie it up in an asset, something I can sell later. Like, I got good news and bad news today. The attorney called me today, and that was good to hear from him. And I think we were gonna, but we're gonna take it to trial, which I was hoping they drop it. So it doesn't look like they're gonna drop it. So I'm gonna have to come up with more money now, and so that's going to be a little bit of an issue because I don't have, it's not summertime anymore, and I had a lot of assets that were summertime oriented. Obviously my land and the motorcycle and things like that. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I was a little bummed that I wasn't hearing from him. So he seems to, like I said, John's been doing it a long time, and he said he could beat the case. He said he can beat it in trial. So. Oh well, that's life. It's not Burger King. I already have so much on this case. What is, Father will provide. Hopefully something will sell. I'm at the mercy of Father. I seriously am. I don't have the money. I just don't have it. Now I have assets, but I don't have the money. So we'll see what happens. I told him I'm not taking a deal. So I do know that I have some bail money coming back. I need to ask him about that. Maybe I can ask him about the bail money. And he said, I agree. He's pretty much everything else. He said, but they don't have to show you a warrant, so. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a crazy world we live in. I just had my bank card broke into again, the second time this year. Had somebody, get in, drain all my money out of my bank account. So the crazy world we live in, people take advantage of people's data. Got to be careful. So, but I'm excited to know that there's something might happen in this case. So I'm hoping Father. I talked to him again about trying to figure out exactly how much, because I already got, like I said, tens of thousands of dollars in the case. That's not including my bail money, Elijah's bail money. I'm just talking about the attorney fees that I have out now. So I think he said another $5,000 when I was talking to him. So I don't know why I thought it was going to be more than that. So I don't want to argue with him, If that's what he said, that's what he said. So I talked to Kevin after I talked to him. I think I'm going to sell the flatbed. The ministry has a flatbed out here that I've used to do what I do out here. So I've been able to build everything is have that flatbed, haul water and haul, material and all that stuff. So it's kind of the part of the ministries, but it's the last vehicle I had that I didn't want to sell, other than my Forerunner, and I need to wait to go. So I think I'm going to put that up for sale. We'll see. I'm going to underprice it, and hopefully somebody will, because I'm not able to sell anything on the internet anymore. I can't get anything to sell. I can't get any hits. So I think it's just been canceled off the internet. And if I do, I can get about 3 hours. If I reposted all my postings every 3 hours, but I wouldn't have time to do that. So I think I'm going to sell that flatbed. Maybe somebody will buy it. It's a diesel flatbed. I can never replace it. It's kind of a one-off model that somebody put and took all the engine, break off of it and all this extra stuff, put an upgraded transmission. It's not, I probably couldn't even, what I'm going to try to sell. I'm going to try to put up I had this thing sold at one time for $8,900 cash. I just didn't want to sell it, but I think I'll put it up for $3,900 the way the market is right now. And hopefully that'll get me a little bit further along. Maybe I can give that 10. Oh man, I'm going to scoot this up here. Oh. Oh, man. So we'll see what happens. But it, what the heck is my, shh, there we go. Get all up in my face there. So, but it's good to hear something, you know, if it's 16 months without doing anything. So I asked him, and that's why I was a little worried, because he said, you know, I said, well, how long, you know, before we go to trial, you know? And he said that I've been waiting a long time. So he said he didn't want to wait. So I think I'm about to have about a month to come up with $5,000. So we'll see. Hopefully Father will get something sold for me. And maybe I can get somebody on that Bowen's property. Really don't want to get rid of it, but because I have a payment on it, I'd like to get, you know, get out from underneath it. But God, if Elijah ever came back here, I'd really want him to have that land. That's the land he wanted, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So I need to stop depending on that, or not depending, just putting it out there. I could have said I can always buy more land later, you know. So, but exciting about going to trial and getting this all done with. Like I said, I don't even care if they convicted me. I don't think they can give me that much time. I don't have a record, you know, so I mean, I probably get the mandatory minimum. When you take it to trial, they kind of throw the book at you, you know, but oh well. I'd rather be, you know, tried by a jury of my peers than hung by one man in a black robe, no matter those results. So I'm not worried about it. Father has my back. So you got to do the right thing, you know. 90.5% of cases in America don't go to trial. They don't render a jury verdict. So maybe they'll back down when I say yep. When they go, because maybe I don't think they have the money to take it to trial. But like I said, John, he's certain that he has evidence, you know, that they didn't have the probable cause for what they did in multiple, and you know, I have like 6 charges. I'm pending 6 charges right now. So, you know, we'll see. Like I said, I don't know how long it would, you know, when they, when I'll get my bail money back. I don't know. It's after or what, how that works. So on this case, because it's weird the way they did the arrest. Even John said that wasn't the right way to arrest me, you know. But it's good to get somewhere. I feel like anything that it could happen, it will be better than nothing, you know. So it's kind of relief. I feel a little better. My chest's been really hurting me today, but I don't know. I'm all right. You can see I'm just having a hard time getting my words out, but it's just because my chest is just like. But I feel relief a little bit knowing that something's going to happen, and I don't have to wait another 6 months or a year or another 2 or 3. I don't even, you know, anything. Come on, something. So, oh, got a breath of air, but we'll see. I gotta drive. I gotta drive all the way down there, you know, 4 hours away. Um, well, I don't have trust in Lord. I have faith, not trust. Trust's one thing, but so we'll see. We'll see. I still got to get down there and just it's a couple hundred. No, there's mark is the word karak or character. So no, that's not what the mark is. It's the word karak. That's your character. That's what your mark is. The word sin is to be off the mark. So there's no mark. There's no physical mark of the beast. You know, the beast is man. So that's the mark would be participating in the system. So No physical mark. Remember, there will be marked and they'll be sealed. He says, "Come back." The angels said, "Put my seal on their foreheads." Right. So, difference between being sealed and being marked. You know what? I'm okay with this though, because I just don't want my dogs to suffer again. So, as long as the dogs don't suffer, I'll be all right. He said that the guy would probably want to try to do some, and I said, "Look, I'm not taking a deal." He says, "I know. All right. So, that's not a mark. There's no mark. Now, what mark is? There's no physical anything under this testament. So, it's just another one of their systems. They're bringing in a new system. Everything's going to get digitally tracked and traced, marked. But there is no, in scripture, there's no physical mark. The word mark is the word karak, or character. So, it doesn't have anything to do with the physical. Like, the word Nephilim doesn't have anything to do with physical. It's a bully. Just like the word alien, it's just a word. There's no, aliens is two words, not spaceships. No such thing as aliens. So, it's part of their new system. Everything's going to get digitally tokenized, tracked and traced, blockchain communism. Credit score. Oh, yeah. Digitally credit scored, blockchain, tokenized communism. So, it's just part of their new system. They already had people sprayed and jabbed, and, so veterans like myself chipped and all that nonsense. So, but that's old technology. They got even much more, advanced, not artificial. But, all right, that was a good question. So let's see what happens. I want to look for my son. You know what I'm saying? I want to look for my son. So hopefully, I don't think they'll be able to convict me. And I already told Sean, that John, that all they have to do is watch the SWAT raid. You know what I'm saying? And no jury's going to convict me. Yes, everything will be blockchain. Everything. Every single asset class will be tokenized and chained to the blockchain through digital tokenized communism. It's already started in many places. You're not going to run from this. They're doing it already. The financial system is the Trump administration is doing things I don't even want to discuss with you financially, because I don't think you even understand what they're doing at all. It's very complicated, but it's not that. They're just going to wash all this $38 trillion into the system. I already see what they're going to do. And like it might work for a little bit, but it won't work forever. That like the rooster, and the hen, always comes home to nest. The right, bring the ladies in. So, they're going to have a system up, but it's only just a temporary. They're hoarding gold and silver. It's just they're idiots. Oh my boys, not they're idiots. Most people don't see it. They're hoarding physical assets, though, physical precious metals, and filling up their coffers full of seeds and food and all that other long-term food storage. And they're getting ready for the solar minimum. That's the other thing too, is I don't think people realize they know the sun cycle. Like I'm telling you, I know the sun cycle. Better than all of you combined in the room, and the next 150,000 people come in here. You don't know the sign like you don't know the sun like I know. So these cycles and that it does, and so they know them. They ride the cycles. So yeah. So So they're all, it's happening, like I said, already in many things. There's no me waiting for people. Remember, I told you they're going to intern American citizens like they did in World War II, and now they're doing it. You know, oh, it's migrants. No, it's not. Now it's Americans. So everything I'm saying is not because I'm some kind of prophet. Actually, I'm a false prophet. My celestial abyss is the Scorpizzo, the false teacher, the most strongest of all the celestial markers in all of the celestial firmament. But oh, I love this guy. He's playing with the dead. He's playing with the dead. He's playing with the dead. Oh, I see you too, Mr. Prince. Mr. Bobo. It's my biggest guy that I love. Oh, he's Dad's guy. What are you doing trying to get up here? You need to share. Your brother's already up here. Stop trying to, you need to share. Look at him. You're being a hog. You silly boy. You're not a lap dog. You think you are. Look at this dog trying to get up in my lap. He's still on the ground. He's got his feet on the ground. Oh my goodness. Oh, here he comes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Mr. Pants. You are such a goofy dog. You're the goofiest dog I ever did have. I love you. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Hey, what are you doing? Quit attacking my arm. Quit attacking my arm. Quit attacking my arm. Quit trying to give me shakes. Quit trying to give me shakes. I love it. We love you. We love you, boy. You're a good boy. You're going to get off Dad's arm? Get off Dad's arm for me. You're sitting on Dad's arm. Sitting on Dad's arm. You're sitting on Dad's arm. You hang out on the live stream with the dad? Hanging out with the dad? Are you with the dad? Oh, so I'm happy with the dad. I'm with my dad. I'm with my dad. I'm with my dad. But anyways, this system in many ways is all right, you're sitting on me, big guy. You're not a lap puppy. Oh my gosh, stop it. You're gonna kick me. You're gonna kick me with your crazy legs. Watch it, the tail. You're crazy. Why you gotta be such a crazy puppy? Where'd you learn how to be so crazy? Huh? Where'd you learn how to be so crazy? You're a good boy. You're a good boy today. You're a good boy today. Thank you for being such a good boy today. You're always such a good guy. You're my goodest, biggest bone I ever did bake. So. All right, guys. I'm a little wore out. I don't know what's going on with me. Like I said, I worked today. We got water and did some stuff today. So I like staying a little longer, but I'm just getting a little exhausted. And I don't know. I think it's, I got kind of a, when the attorney called me and I talked to him, and just knowing that something's going to happen it's a little overwhelming for me because nothing's happened in 16 months. So we'll see. Maybe in a couple of months I'll get my life back, or I'll be in jail. One of the two. So just to know that something's going to happen. Maybe I could start looking for my son and my daughter again, and I mean, I know where they're at, but maybe I can make this happen. There's some other ways to do this once that happens. So that's a good thing. So I think that's all. I'm just a little exhausted from kind of the thought of, there's something actually happening here. It's like I was caught in some warp, like nothing was going to ever happen in the case. I was just going to get stuck in this because I have been for so long. You know what I'm saying? So I just gotta have to figure out how to come up with the money, guys. And I hate that I wish I just had the money so I could get it behind me and just figure it out. So it's going to be a race to figure out how the hell to come up with $5,000. And I just get banned on the internet. So I don't know. I don't know how. It's all in Father's hands. I'm doing everything I can. I've got so many things up for sale. So I need him to make somebody buy my stuff. I put everything on Father. People say, do you do that? You can't blame everything on Father like that, do you? I can't believe all the things you say that you don't say that people are doing it. It's father, and this is father's got to do this and father's got to do that. When it's somebody else that's doing it, well, yeah, no, but father's going to make them do it. So I'm just kind of at the hands and the mercy of father. So we'll see. Like I said, I think I'm going to take that flatbed up and sell the flatbed, and I'm hoping I'm going to give it away, for the price. So hopefully somebody will get it. It'll be good. It's stupid to sell it, but because the ministry could use it, it is for the ministry. I did sell, all my other vehicles other than that vehicle because I wanted to stay here at the ministry. So, but I need to get this turning. I need to get past this point. Maybe I'll buy another one later. I just can't buy this one that I had because the guy put a different transmission and took a lot of the. It's an 89 too, so it's not one of these newer ones. The years that are like there's like 3 years in that model that are really top of the line as far as without all the extra crap on it, and this is one of them. And then this guy went in and I traded a Harvest International Metromite that I was building as a food truck. Kind of looked like the Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke, little wagon that they, that's a micro van, and to a guy who had a feed company in Saginaw, Oregon, and so it had a lot of value, and so that's why I traded for this because it's nice, God, I have done work. It's like my drill that went out here the other day. I got 7 years out of that drill, 7 years, and I worked. I showed Kevin. I'm like, look, there ain't no scratches on it. I don't use it like a hammer, and I've dropped it a bunch of times, but I take good care of it. So I'm not disappointed. And somebody mentioned that DeWalt might have a lifetime warranty. How do you? I don't think so. But I think what I'm going to try to do is go to the pawn shop and find another one. Maybe the pawn shop has some pretty nice tools in this town, and they're pretty good about making sure they check everything. I feel weird about buying sometimes tools online. It's kind of like, so I normally don't buy tools online, but I got 7 years out of that drill, so I'm happy about that. And, so I'm going to have to get that replaced too, but I'll figure it out. It's nice to know something. Just anything is better than sitting here for 16 months, and so we'll see what happens. We'll see what Father has in store for, trial. Interesting. I wonder how many days of trial he doesn't think, he thinks that he's going to beat the case. So I told him, why don't you put some more damn heat on this? I said, Johnny, I'm trying to tell you to do your job, but why don't you put some more heat on this district attorney? And but he said they're adamant about taking me to trial, and I know why. It's because God's doing this. So see, I just did it again. I can't help it. That's why I do things. So God's going to put me as hard a trial as they can possibly be. So he's done this before with me. So especially legal things and stuff like this. I think it was 8 years I fought for my son, custody battles in Lane County, Oregon. 8 years is a long time to fight custody. 8 years, wow. But he doesn't seem to think that this one's going to be something that's going to be long and drawn out. And I've talked to him some of the details, so I trust his judgment. That's why I told him, look, man, I didn't call you because I knew if you needed something from me, you call me. It was a good phone conversation. Like I said, and that kind of got me just a little bit beside myself because I hadn't even thought about, it just didn't seem like this case was going to ever go anywhere, after 16 months. So, hallelujah, thank you, Father. And like I said, this time, as long as my dogs don't get hurt, I don't care what happens to me. And what they need me around, they do. They're super codependent. I love them, though. They're good, such good boys. I love having them. And yeah, I try to stay positive for my puppies too. They feel negativity, so glad to have them because it keeps me up here from getting my mind watered too much. I don't like Deagle doesn't like no kind of people being loud or yelling, or he don't like that at all. So I don't like him to feel like that. So, but all right, guys, I appreciate your time and coming in here. Please stay focused on what's coming. I think this whole thing that they're planning out has everything to do with this. So check out those Deagle maps. Go look at those Deagle maps and tell me what you think. We'll come back and we'll discuss them again. We'll go over the. I'm going to stay hyper focused on this. We got 3 more months, and then we'll move on and see what happens after that. So, if you're watching the this restream, and you want to please leave me a comment. Again, I'm going to open up this property to try to bring some people out here. So I'm really looking forward to maybe talk to Kevin about it today, and he agrees with me that nobody's out here because God didn't want the wrong people. Father wants the right people, and he feels too like we might get a couple of people. I hope we can bring them in from the ministry. Like I said, I've been talking to some people online from some other platforms and stuff. So, but I'd really like to pull somebody in from the ministry. I mean, I know there were some people wanted to come. Maybe Father will provide a way for them to get out here and come enjoy this place before winter gets here. And you know what I'm saying? And we can talk to somebody else and say, man, if you're going to come here and you get here for winter, get settled and all, and make sure you got plenty of firewood so you're just chilling all winter. Well, not chilling, but see, making sure you got enough wood and just not worrying about, need to do a million things you need to get done for winter hit. So he said, pray your flight and not be in the winter. So again, if you want to support the ministry, we can do that by always putting good comments here. That's the best way to support the ministry is your comments. 100% straight up. You make the ministry. I'm just one guy. I might come in and talk about something, or I might come in and talk about 50 things. So calling and harassing me again. Make sure you restrict a number, you pigs. Leave me alone. I'll go live if they come out here. So be watching for me to go live tonight. If they come out here, I'm going to go live. So I probably won't put anything on there if they come out here and try to fuck with me. So you're not going to call me stupid pigs. Fuck off. Call my attorney. I have an attorney. Don't call me. John Caligo, 484-1066. Fuck off. But love you, brothers and sisters. Appreciate it. Now they're harassing me. They did this to me before when they were running over my property. You know that? As my witness here tonight. So I'm not worried about it. Whatever's going to happen to me is going to happen to me. So like I told that judge, you're going to do whatever you want to do. And then ended up, backpedaling. So hopefully someday Pat Wolke will be in prison. Dave Vanderberg will be in prison. Sergeant Rourke will be in prison. Sam Birch will be in prison. Josh Bezel will be in prison. Michael Taylor will be in prison. Richard Greer will be in prison. Lily Frank will be in prison. Crusher Brunsman will be in prison. I got to list all these people who are in this case that did. Ryan Solberg will be in prison. Tony Karsten will be in prison. Marshall Radonich will be in prison. All these people will be accountable for what they did. All those SWAT officers, the SWAT officer that grenaded my son and daughter will be in prison. Probably dead. I can't report his body. How's my son doing? Probably dead. And I can't even report his body missing because the state police, a bunch of fucking tyrant pigs, shot him with his hands in the air. I'm going to sue the fuck out of this county and the state. The only way they're going to get away with this is if they come out here and kill me. I'm telling you. I'm going to sue them. I have to now to hold them accountable. This is such bullshit. These people are such fucking tyrants. So, Lance Brown, prison. Saw that stupid pig today. Didn't say anything to him. Prison. That man's going to go to prison. Everybody in this case should be held accountable for what they did. You know, that's not right to grenade my son and daughter when they're sleeping. So I told that to John today. We'll see what happens. Like I said, they come out here. I'll go live. They only arrested him. No, they shot him with his hands in the air, grenaded him. The fuck would you think that they only arrested him for? But anyways, well, that's a big plane right there. Yeah, I think it's pretty shitty that I can't even report a missing person of my son, and I know who killed him. It's either Marshall Radonich or where he's missing at. I know where his body's at, but they won't go look for him. So the feds are liable for this too. I guarantee you the federal government will be sued as well as the state of Oregon. 20, what, how many? 5 men with guns came out here and grenaded my son and daughter in their fucking sleep. If they're never held accountable for that, Father will hold them accountable someday. So, bunch of bullshit, man. But that's okay. I got a court date in a couple of days. I'm not going to beat this case. So, and then when I get done with my criminal case, I'm going to start the civil case, and I'm going to sue for every penny that I can. I'm going to donate, this stuff to the ministry. So, I don't need money. I need to make sure that I get some kind of rest someday. That I find out that my son and daughter or something, anything, that's still hanging, even though the case is going to get dealt with here in a couple of days or whatever. We're going to set it for trial. Fuck that. These people, the only way, I'm telling you what, if these people are smart, they'd fucking listen to me and stop fucking with me. Drop my case, as I told John, and put pressure on him, and I'll probably just leave the fucking country, as I've been saying that I would do. So that would be the smartest move that they would make. Don't set this motherfucking thing for trial. Let me go now. Let me go, and I'll leave the fucking country. I already said I would. I don't want to fucking fight with anybody. So, whatever. They want to play hardball, and they take me to fucking trial. I will still sue them, because I still, even though I have a criminal case, I could lose the case and still have a fucking civil lawsuits. So I will sue the state of Oregon for every fucking single. I'm going to try to go as much as I can. $500 million. I don't care. I will not set a limit. I don't care. I don't want it for me. So I want to, I need to do it for my son and daughter too, especially if they're not alive, find that out. So we're going to find out eventually here, like I said, where my son and daughter are at. I know where they're at. Imagine being awake every day, being alive and know where your son and daughter, and you can't go get them. And the police won't even take a report for them. It's a pretty trying time for me to be in this, eternal skin that I'm in here temporarily, this meat suit. The skin's not eternal, the meat suit is. So, anyways, if they come out here, I'll go live. Whatever, we'll film whatever I get on, like I did last time. YouTube wouldn't be here if it wasn't for YouTube. So I do feel like they would have killed me. I do feel like that anybody who would investigate this case would see that plain as day. They came out here, shoot to kill. They arrested, my daughter without even having a warrant. This whole case should be dropped. What a fucking joke. So, if it ever actually really gets looked at, in a bigger sense with all these people. So I know where John's going with this. I know that he's hyper focused because they don't have a case, and he knows why. And these people better either come out and kill me, or let me go. Drop this fucking case. I'm gonna win my case, and I'm gonna go after him when I beat my case. I know I'm gonna win the case. Even if I lose the case, I can sue him. But when I win my case, I'm gonna go ahead and place these lawsuits that I've avoided. I've been trying to get them when I knew where my son and daughter were at before. I think that they might have been alive back then, and they didn't do anything. No, I'm gonna sue Josephine County too for not going and looking for my son. If that's his body ends up in those fucking gold mines up there, I better damn fucking believe I'll be suing every fucking bit of Josephine County too. That's bullshit. I reported where they were missing, and they wouldn't take a missing persons report. That's why my attorney told me to call the state of Oregon. These people can come out and wreck this ministry. Like just I have evidence. I used to be a reconstructionist. They caused damage that was unnecessary. They caused unnecessary damage. I have it documented on the live stream too. That officer said they weren't going to cause any more destruction out here, and they did anyways. 2 more full kennel sections they ran over. What a bunch of cocksuckers, dude. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Father's will be done. So, love you, brothers and sisters. If anybody wants to support my, I haven't gotten any help for legal fees. I've got $100,000 in this case already this year, and I'm running out of funds. I don't have anything else. Why? I sold my gold and silver. So I have land for sale if you're interested. I have motorcycle for sale. I don't want anything for free. Not asking anybody to pay my way. Nobody pays my way. I have to pay my way, and that's the way it is. So I do appreciate your support. Though somebody did give something to the ministry, and I'm not going to spend that on me. For it was to the ministry, and I told you I'm putting that away for South America. Maybe I'll use those funds when I'm on the road, but I don't know. That's why I put it in silver. So I didn't have a lot, but somebody gave some the other day, and but I think I'm gonna spend that on roofing and a drill, because my drill quit working after 7 years. So I got expenses, but I got to get this attorney another $5,000. So hopefully I'll get something sold. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I've already got like I said, I've already tens of thousands just came up with the other day, or whatever, not the other, but the last expense that I coughed up. So all this for my son, man. I didn't have a record. She could have just left, but oh well. It'll all be worth it in the end. Difficult is the path. So you don't have to pay in any way to be a part of the ministry. You can do that through hitting the thumbs up button. That helps. Your awesome comments are always going to be more valuable than anything to me. So, but it's kind of good to hear something. I mean, it's not the greatest news, but it's better than no news, like I was hearing for so long. So feel a little bit, tapped from the whole situation, but I think, like I said, I just hadn't gone anywhere. It just feels weird to know that something might happen here. So I've been in this, trying to get this to actually go somewhere for 16 months. So it just feels weird to even move an inch forward. So I haven't done that yet. So it was kind of hard. Like I said, how many tens of thousands of dollars just fork out again. The attorney didn't call me for. I was getting a little worried I might not hear from him, but now I got to drive down there, 2 hours or 2 hours, something like 4 hours, and just to get a court date set for later. I got to drive that far, but oh well, it is what it is. They're going to push me the whole way. I'm pretty sure of it. So they're not going to make any of this easy for me. They hate me in this county. So best thing they could do is just leave me alone, do their jobs the way they're supposed to do. So thanks for coming in, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here. I do appreciate it again. If you don't mind coming back next time you have some more time, and let's share some more time. I'm going to stay hyper focused on this Project Blue Book. 200 plus million Americans going to disappear for the end of this year, according to those population forecasts on those maps. So I hope that doesn't come at all. I hope it's wrong. I hope that everybody's still here in January, and it was just a big fluke, because the people come out with stuff like this. I didn't say it was law. I didn't say it was, anything like that, but I just ask you to consider it and that maybe you might be able to get ahead of it. Instead of fighting people, you can get ahead of this stuff now. So try to enjoy the calm before the storm. There's a lot more coming. We haven't seen nearly any. We haven't seen the evil that is about to be unveiled on this rock. So be ready for it. Put on the whole armor of God, like I said in Paul said in Ephesians. And we'll see you on the next broadcast. Guys, thanks so much for your time. And links are in the description if you want to support the ministry. Monetary way, again, there's other ways to do it other than monetary. You can do it through coming back with your time, hit the thumbs up button, or share the content out to any other platform. So thanks again, Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.